What's going on, Hawk Hill? We are broadcasting live from the 1851 radio studio on St. Joseph's University campus and brought to you by the Courtside Broadcast Network. This is Chuck's Chat by Take Smiths for Take Smiths, and the gang is all here, folks. To my left, as always, Michael, Tony, Zacco.
Thank you, Chuck. How we doing?
And then to his left, if you can even visualize what the studio looks like, Ryan and Jane, Prince Pretty. He's chowing down on some fries. Little Wendy's 4 for 4? Oh,
wait, they made like a 5 for 4. Like, what is it? They made something new. They get you just like basically instead of the junior burger, it's like a double burger. I don't even know. I don't know Wendy's enough.
That's wild. And then to his left, Mr. Jeffrey Stretch Padavano.
Thanks, Chuck.
How you doing?
How you doing?
So we got an interesting show. So we're going to have a public apology from Ryan and Jane. And on top of that, we will have our thoughts on the new St. Joseph's basketball coach, Billy Lange. We will react to last night's dreadful, except for the Purdue game, Sweet 16 games. Preview the 2 games that have already been set for the Elite Eight, who we think is going to be in the Elite Eight with that, are joining Gonzaga, Texas Tech, and all them. And then maybe we'll get into the new PI rule that the NFL just brought in. We're going to do a snake draft of months, and then Chuck's Locks. 2 huge games tonight. Duke, North Carolina on a warpath to face in the national championship. All of that and more on Chuck's Chat. So, firstly, Zacco, I want to hear. We'll get Ryan's thing when he's done eating. But, Zacco, first I want to hear from you. Billy Lange announced hired by friend of the program, Jill Bodensteiner, to be the next St. Joe's basketball coach. I want to get your immediate reaction to that.
I was very happy with the decision. Our good friend of the show, the AD at the school, Jill, was it Bodensteiner?
Bodensteiner, long O.
Bodensteiner. The one thing that I took away from this hiring is that she wanted a culture change, and everything about him, I think, really does add up. That he's local guy, right? Went to Bishop Eustis, right, in South Jersey.
Shout out to Hank and Dan. None of them are listening, but shout out to them.
And he's really come from a culture of winning, but at the same time, like persistence of just him being an assistant with the Sixers since, I guess, the beginning of the process. And just achieving, I know he's not having really a direct impact on everything, but he's still a part of something bigger than himself. Coming from Villanova, he knows the ropes a little bit, and then coaching Navy for all those years. So I guess, I don't know, he's not doing the technically same recruitment as like every other school would be, like being the head coach of Navy, but I'm really happy with the hiring. At first, when I heard the rumors about Jameer, I was like, that'd be awesome if he comes here. Like, that'd be awesome. For our senior year, like, having him, the atmosphere at the school would be something like nothing's ever experienced.
The buzz would be palpable.
It'd be crazy. Like
the buzz and then the performance would have been like, oh, wow. What a mistake this was.
But still,
Hater.
short term,
Hater.
It seemed awesome. But I think, emotions aside, I think this was a very smart hiring. I think this would be a very productive one. And I don't think next year is going to be really a tell, but give it 3 or 4 years. Yeah. I think he'll be very successful.
Jeff, what do you think?
I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not going to talk about him like I know anything about him.
Okay.
I don't know. I never even heard his name before he was hired. So I'm not going to talk like, oh, yeah, he had a great career at Nova and Navy and with the Sixers. I just hope that
what do you want to see?
What I want to see? I want to see every concerned fan just like take a deep breath, take their fingers off the like Twitter keyboard, and just kind of realize that that he's a new coach. New coaches everywhere have these same exact struggles of keeping players that they're stepping into. Like a new coach stepping into the position has to worry about whether players under the old coach want to transfer, recruiting, Avi and his coaching staff. Those 3 issues are issues no matter who you hire in any sort of sport, college, or level of like professional, high school, maybe not with recruiting and pros. You have to work. Those are all common worries that every single organization would have when they're hiring a new coach. So everybody just relax.
Yeah,
everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, who's going to leave? Who's going to leave? First of all, if they're going to leave, go. We don't want you here. Like, good. You don't want to be part of the program? Go. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. We get it that you came to the school maybe first for Martelli. But if I would hope that the culture and the community at St. Joe's has brought you in enough to where you'd want to stay and play for that community, not just the coach who brought you in.
But Jill is so right in that interview when she just said about a culture change and a culture dynamic, and I think we got so comfortable with just being like consistently just there, like especially the past 3 years. Like it was time for a change, and everyone's reaction was so emotional of just like, how can you do this? Like, what are we gonna do without Martelli? Like, it is really uncomfortable. Like more than how old we are, like 30 years of the same person. Like being around, because I know he was only head coach for 24 years, but 30 years of having like that same presence around, like it's hard. But at the same time, you got to look at it like a long-term like picture.
Like change is good.
Yeah.
Like change is good. People have to realize that there's going to be growing pains with this because who knows how well he's going to be as a recruiter? Who knows whether players are going to leave? All of these issues are the same regardless of who you brought in. People are complaining that it's not Jameer as the head coach. Whether he came in or not, these issues, he'd face the exact same issues. Mm-hmm. Maybe not to the extent that like Billy Lange will now that he is the head coach, but still, he actually has coaching experience. So that's one, in my opinion, everybody's saying
huge
that
thing.
we needed.
It's a giant thing.
Giant thing. Yeah, that's everybody's saying we need Jameer. We need Jameer for his name. Can he coach? Can he develop players? Not just can he develop players? Yeah, his name, he can recruit. You would think he'd be able to have a better recruiting edge over Billy Lange, but at the same time, can he actually coach? Does he know how to handle players? He's 1 year removed from like actually playing, correct, Jameer?
He was involved in a trade this year, wasn't he? I think he was still last year, and then he wasn't in the league at all this year.
So he's been out of the league.
I
think the last team he was on was Detroit.
So he's fresh out of the league.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting his playing abilities, but pay your dues. Earn your stripes on the sideline from the coaching standpoint. I don't know anybody in their right mind who is just expected to be handed the reins to an organization.
Jason Kidd.
Just
I
like
can't believe they did that.
Just
too.
like that was what a mistake that was. St. John's and Chris Mullins, they were really getting the heat for the first few years, but they finally made the NCAA tournament this year, and people are still wondering. He doesn't even coach. I've watched plenty of St. John's games. He literally does not coach. He has. If you ever watch any St. John's game, like when they go to TV timeouts and they show, one of his assistants is the one drawing up plays and actually telling the players what to do. He just kind of sits there.
Yeah, I would say the first thing is it's not a sexy hire. Like, I don't have any hot takes about it, which I kind of wanted to do, so it kind of sucks for this. But
it's not Rick Pitino, obviously.
It's not Rick Pitino, unfortunately.
Let's address the elephant in the room. The whole entire program is upset about the hire because it's not Rick Pitino. But we're moving on just like everybody else should.
If you guys were wondering, we didn't go to Greece either.
Yeah, we didn't yet, unfortunately. I mean, still up in the air. I don't know. Jill might just take me for fun. I don't know. But all right, so
hopefully,
yeah, that'd be sick. So, I like the hire. Billy Lange, Joel Embiid endorsed him. That's all I needed. And Ryan told me today, because I didn't see Brett Brown's quote here. You can just share what it was about Covington and the player development thing.
Yeah, so we weren't too happy about the Billy Lange hire, but so somebody asked Brett Brown. He said, "Hey, what do you got to say about Billy Lange and like his player development skills?" He was coach of the Sixers for a while, and he said, ask Robert Covington's accountant.
Yeah. Like, he went from G League, undrafted, and now got
Defensive
4 years,
player of the year
44.
almost,
4 years, $44 million, all defensive first team, I think. He was on an all defensive team.
Yeah, we'll
last
say that.
year.
Yeah.
You'll love to see
I think he
things
was
like
all
that.
defensive first team last year, and then, he definitely was. And then,
Also,
in the running for player of the year.
Jeff addressing the Jameer Nelson Earn Your Stripes. So he was interviewed today, and I read his little article.
Mike Jensen or whatever.
And he said some guys coach with a suit on, some coach with a uniform on, and he did that.
He did do that. I'll say this, like, that's the one thing with point guards, and you shared the thing the other day how he was voted second most likely to be a good coach behind Chris Paul. I mean, that's pretty telling.
He's a floor general.
He knows that side of the game. He'd be tremendous for recruiting, which is why Billy Lange should push to get him on the staff. And it could lead to Jameer, maybe, like, depending on what happens, taking that over, he could go somewhere else. Like, that would, if he, this would be the perfect spot for him to earn his stripes, per se, and hopefully get his son back committed to St. Joe's. 'Cause that one stung a little bit. I don't care about Hakeem Hart or the other guy. I don't even know his name. That shows how much I care about him. But Jameer Nelson Jr., I'm upset that
So he was asked, think sometime this week when there was an article published about like how he was feeling because he went radio silent for I guess the past week, and he said that he doesn't want to comment at the time about like potentially taking an assistant job. But I honestly think he will. I think he'll take it if it's offered to him, and I think it will be offered to him.
Yeah.
This is a hunch.
Yeah, Billy Lange also, like with the coaching at Navy, the whole culture thing, like it's totally different Army Navy, like the type of discipline and probably the regiment that is instilled, and I think that'll be great for the program. And he's coached at Nova too, so I think it's a really good hire. I have full confidence that Jill like really made the right decision here, and I think he'll be Ryan. Go ahead.
I spoke with a head manager of the men's program, Kevin, great kid, and he told me that Billy Lange is a great regime guy. Regime. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
So.
Yes, thank you. And X's and O's.
Okay,
so
good.
he's gonna come in and like from day one, like practice is gonna be tight. His X's and O's are phenomenal. I've heard. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that. Also, fun fact: my dad played high school basketball against Bishop Eustis, which is where Billy went to high school. And his dad was the coach at the time.
Oh, okay.
So
was his dad a good coach?
I mean,
It comes from a good coaching family. He's got my stamp of approval.
yeah, no. We'll just say yeah.
He's actually in the New Jersey Basketball Hall of Fame. Actually, now that you,
He's the Rick Pitino of South Jersey high school basketball.
I'll take it.
We'll take.
I'll definitely take that.
Yeah, I think, and like people forget, like he coached the Sixers summer league team. Cork Maz dropped like 40 in the summer league. I mean, that's all. He gets shooters to shoot. I think he'll do well. Jeff and I were talking about this last night because I don't know where Tony was, but he was at my house having a good time, and we were talking about how and you too, man. No, I'm kidding, but me, him, and Obi were talking about like the A10 is like it's kind of made for like a dynasty, just like take over, and like it's there for the taking. Like the closest I guess is like VCU's kind of had like a. Kind of been at the top for a while.
He's been consistent.
So like it's gonna take. We're gonna have to give him 3 or 4 years because he's gonna have to implement the culture, get his guys, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I think that it's a fresh start, and which is what we all wanted. I think Billy Lange will be a really good coach here.
It's like a perfect example of
he's gonna want to beat Jay Wright too.
Yeah, and like I think like we could build a program like Gonzaga in the sense of like. It's like really just not terrible conference. We're probably a better conference than the West Coast Conference.
Yeah, probably.
No, that conference is awful.
Yeah, but like we can be a dominant team in that conference and just be representative every single year.
Mm-hmm. No,
like,
I agree. Yeah.
Like VCU's like they're not dominant in the A10, but like they're usually the best team to come out. Even after Shaka Smart left.
Yeah, it's always them, like Davidson, Dayton, and
us.
Not recently, but us.
Yeah,
like those, like the top 4 battling it out, and everybody else is just kind of there.
You don't see Fordham going places.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bonnies, Rhode Island. Fats Russell, that's a sick name though. So
he torched us.
Yeah, he's good.
Torched us.
He's good. He can play. And the thing that he has going for him, what I want to see him. Hawk Hill Hardwood tweeted this today. He follows you and I, so we're big J journalists here. I
might have lost that after my.
Actually, I need to check if he still follows me now.
I would like to put out a formal apology.
Here we go.
I reported that Jameer Nelson was hired as the head basketball coach at St. Joseph's. I trusted my source. Turns out I should not have, so I apologize.
Hey, but we're 2 for 3 though, because we got the student tickets. We got the coach will be hired next week.
I had a hunch and I was feeling good. Listen, the adrenaline you get from breaking news,
dude, isn't it? Like
I'm on Mount Everest. It's such a good high.
It's like biting
crazy.
into a York peppermint patty.
Yeah, but like 2 of them, it's like a sandwich.
Breaking news is like a York sandwich.
Heard it here first.
But the thing that he was saying was like, look at the big AAU programs around here. That's the easiest way to get like teams like We Are One and the more upper level AAU teams that come from the Philadelphia area. Because let's face it, in the Northeast, which is predominantly where we have to recruit from, because we're not a national program, the best high school basketball players are like Philadelphia, New York.
So what was Martelli looking like when he recruits? Like I don't know how he went about his recruitment.
I mean, I'm guessing. So like he's gotten a couple overseas guys, but like they're all in the Northeast more or less. And then Nick Robinson was from Chicago, but like Charlie Brown's Northeast.
And then Gerald was from what? Was he from Atlanta? Yeah,
from like Georgia.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends, but it's all Northeast predominantly. And there's a lot of gems in Philadelphia AAU basketball that, like, if you get their AAU head coach, it's like, oh, I want to go play for him again. I know him. I like him. I've played AAU. They probably have known him for 10 years at this point. Because I mean, at least with my AAU coach, I knew him for, not that I am anywhere near a competent Division I basketball.
Flex. You played AAU ball?
Yeah, a little bit. Best team in Monstars history, but it's something like.
Play for Hoop Dreams. Have you even heard of them?
Like the documentary,
No.
Hoop Dreams.
No, I'll bring it up.
Oh, yeah. So Billy Lange. That's anything you guys want to add to Big BL? No. All right. So moving on. So how much? Oh, Jeff, I think you have to. You're like. I think on next Friday when Gonzaga's preparing to play in the Final Four, I'm going to bring in a nice steamed thing of crow for you to eat. Is that
Crow?
okay?
What's crow?
Like,
Like
the
the
phrase
bird?
eating crow, yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever heard it before. But please enlighten me.
We're going to, yeah.
Apparently, I'm gonna have to eat crow.
Yeah, there's a phrase.
Stupid
You're gonna get
birds.
sick from it.
When, like,
Not as sick as other people.
when, like, you have a take. Like, for example, like, I have to eat crow about the Lakers did not win 15 of 17. I don't even know if
Didn't they lose 15 to 17 or something like that?
No, I don't think
Close?
it was like that.
Close to?
Probably close, yeah. But I think they lost, like, 3 straight after I said that. Like, I have to eat crow about the Lakers. Like, I'll have to bring in a nice sauteed crow for Gonzaga's Final Four watch party next Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, so last night, did you guys catch, which games did you catch?
They were painful.
The only game I watched was the Michigan game, and then I turned it off at halftime.
Absolutely dreadful
Yeah.
game. And I hate the state of Michigan now. Just everyone in that state sucks.
Every game was painful to watch, really.
Yeah, well, the Purdue game
The
was
ones
awesome.
the Purdue was fun. But
Yeah, Virginia,
that game was just brutal.
Virginia's never played an exciting game. Every game they have is a slog fest, except when UMBC beat them by 30. That game was fun.
They don't put up points. They're a really good defensive team.
Any team that scores like 65 usually beats them.
They put
Like
up
if you score
40
like if you score 65 on Virginia, chances are you're gonna beat them because they can't score. But it's harder for you to score 65 than it is for them to score 65 because their defense is that good.
Yeah, and if you're ever up by like 8 on them, then they're screwed.
Oh, that's like a 50-point
not,
deficit. They're not fighting. They're not clawing back.
Yeah, they're not. They just. It's so weird. They're so into that system. None of their players are actually like. I feel like none of their players are good, but as one, they're good.
Defense wins championships,
Yeah.
or gets you a loss in the first round.
Or the
First one in
Yeah.
tournament history.
But it's crazy. They had a couple years ago, like Malcolm Brogdon, Justin Parantis, and Justin Anderson were all on the same team. And now, like Kyle Guy is their best player. And that Salt dude,
Salt.
Big Salt.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
What a
and then
legend.
Gonzaga, they routed in a sense. Not they didn't rout them, but they commanded that game the entire way. I love Gonzaga basketball. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a huge Mark Few stan.
I'm really excited to watch the Auburn North Carolina game. That's gonna be interesting.
Did you see the over under? They're thinking 164.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
Auburn's an interesting team, like winning the SEC title, and then especially almost losing to New Mexico State in the first round. I don't know. They're an interesting team to play, and then they beat Kansas with ease.
Yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
Where are they playing the game at?
I don't know. DC perhaps, is that the one Lenardi's going to?
East Regionals in DC. And what game are you talking about?
That's well, Duke VT, and then that final is the 31st, which is in 2 days, and that potentially can be Duke Michigan State. That's who I have going.
Does Virginia Tech have a shot?
I don't think so.
Yeah, neither do I, Jeff.
No,
No,
probably not.
that UCF.
Who's to say? You know what? I'll play devil's advocate. Yeah, they do. They got a shot. Everybody's got a shot. Everybody's got a shot. The freaking NCAA tournament, guys. Come on.
That's true.
It's March Madness.
Even Gonzaga's got a shot at it. Come
I
on.
think Gonzaga already beat them, so they would have a shot.
I know,
But,
so think about it.
Virginia Tech, they already beat Duke. So like Duke's gonna come out and just try to kick the crap out of them for 40 minutes.
I think that
Pretty
1
much.
point win, like that, not even 1 point win. I'm gonna say like the loss avoidance by Duke against UCF lit a fire under them that was not there before. Like they were, I'm not gonna say they weren't trying, but this game against UCF kind of made them realize like we can be beaten, and we were like a one like quarter rotation of a basketball going the opposite direction to be back in to be back at school, like taking tests, whatever they're doing.
It's so lucky.
Yeah, that game, everything was working for UCF that game. They completely blew it in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, but still, that's. I think that game is going to springboard Duke to just play like even above their already high like potential.
Yeah,
Or lose by 20.
yeah,
That could happen. I'm never going to say never. That could happen.
Yeah, I will say this going for Virginia Tech is UCF laid out the blueprint. The only thing that sucks that like not everyone has a 7'6" dude standing right under
That
the
does help a little bit.
It helps a little bit. But it's like you make them shoot threes. If they're missing their threes, you have a shot. Don't let them get out. Don't turn over the ball. If you let them get out in transition, you're up 5 and all of a sudden you're down 15. And then, you know, they were fortunate to have Aubrey Dawkins, who was so hot, almost as hot as that Purdue guy last night, who was like 7 for 10 from 3.
Oh yeah, that guy was nuts.
Did you catch any of it?
I didn't catch
Purdue,
any of it, no.
Tennessee? Unreal game. Tennessee completely choked it away at the end. They were up 3 and they were up 2 and fouled the guy from 3 in the last
Game.
in the last 5 seconds. No.
You can't just sit up like
Yeah,
that. and
you
act
just
like,
acted like you needed the mic.
Yeah, we thought you were coming in hot.
He's-
Here we go.
Listen, a guy can't just change his posture.
Like,
come on.
not in this radio booth.
I did. All right, I did watch the Tennessee Purdue game. I didn't think that was a foul at the last shot. That
Yeah.
Purdue,
Yeah.
the 3-pointer.
Yeah.
I thought Tennessee got robbed,
Really?
but you know, I don't have a bracket. I'm one of those guys.
Oh.
I'm Darren
Darren
Rovell.
Rovell.
I did not. I just like basketball.
I haven't
you
made
know?
a bracket in 4 years. I just enjoy every single game for what it's worth.
He
Can
made
have
his
fun
first
with-
bracket this year. He's such a tool.
I just
Darren
forgot. I didn't do it intentionally. I just like good basketball. Sue me.
Rovell. Sue me for like except
Won't be this
dude,
guy.
Honestly, like watching Michigan Texas Tech last night was the worst thing I've ever watched, and it's exactly why I think college basketball stinks for the most part. And
Stinks.
like that, I'll never watch an NBA game where there's just like 10 points in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Fundamental defense. Fundamental defense and
defense.
awful fundamental jump shooting.
Yeah. I
You
had
couldn't
a lot
buy
of
a
confidence
basket.
in Michigan. Yeah, dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Yeah, but the let's see who else. So you guys want to do the snake draft?
I'm down.
Down. All right, Ryan. What's the order? Unless you want to be in it.
Octavius is doing the order.
You want to be in it? All right. Well, there's only 12 months.
Yeah, 3 each.
Okay.
Scarpatalis
All right.
playing some.
All right. Big man.
Octavius, pick an order.
Come on.
Before we gotta go to commercial, come on.
We do this all the time. Can we please change it?
So you don't
He
want the
said,
first
wait,
pick?
he said smallest to tallest. You did
Oh,
first.
yeah.
Oh, no, change it.
I'll
change
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Tallest. All right, is that Ryan? Yeah, no, I think it's Ryan. Pretty sure.
Let's see. It's close.
You know I'm 5'7".
I think it's Ryan.
Wait,
by
wait.
like a smidge.
Hey, Jeff, take off your headset. Let's see. Hold on,
what?
maybe the headset gives
I
me.
think it's him.
I think
anyway.
it's him. Yeah.
It's him regardless, headset or not. Look, what
From
do
my
I-
perception, Jeff looks a smidge taller.
You're
Just a
sitting
smidge.
down.
I guess we. All right, so Ryan, you're going first. I've declared. There we go.
I'll be honest. I'm blanking on the months. What are?
What are the months of the year?
This is
guys?
not
Christmas.
not looking good for the Jesuit education right now.
Spring.
Give me December.
December 1st.
Christmas. You know, you got a school vacation. It's a beautiful month.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing.
Respectable pick.
I'm picking the one word right now, March,
March.
because you have the birth of the greatest human being in the history of Chuck's chat.
Enough.
Radio history.
Enough.
In
Relax.
myself, Jeffrey Stretch Padavano.
It's not all about
Born
you,
March
Jeff.
25th,
It is not all about you.
1998. And we also have that basketball tournament going on.
That's a cool one.
It's pretty fun.
It's a
Yeah,
good one.
I think we should probably talk about it sometime. People might like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, March, and we get spring break too.
What, the NIT tournament?
I
Or the
think it's
CBI.
yeah, the CBI.
CBI. West Virginia's year. So my My first pick is going to be October. It has the best weather in the Northeast for all the months. Football, basketball, and and the World Series. So you have like three of the four. So I don't care about hockey, so that's 3 sports going.
Dude, Halloween.
Halloween also.
Ryan
are
just like
forgetting holidays.
Ryan just likes playing dress up, guys.
I think don't you have the changing of the clocks too? That's kind of hype. Fall back.
Halloween, dude.
Oh, you get fall break
all
too.
the candy.
Fall break if you're at the Jesuit school like ours.
Yes, you get fall break. I'm pretty sure the clocks get turned back.
Yeah, but I hate that.
So, what? The
I
clocks
hate-
being
I
turned
hate
back?
No, we get an extra hour
I
sleep.
can't. Yeah, but then you lose an hour of sleep like 2 weeks ago. In March. Yeah, but still.
in March.
So, did
You
you
lose
just
it
make
in
a
March.
bad pick then?
What's up?
Oh,
Is taking March now a bad pick?
I don't think so.
value down right
Value
there. We
down.
didn't realize until you brought it up.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to sell to investors. I'm not gonna like throw a red herring at them and tell them, "Hey, this is all we got. That's good," and leave out the bad.
This
I
is
gotta
a
let
Len Bias
everybody know what's
situation.
going on.
Lenby.
This is a Len Bias.
Yeah.
First
March
overall
just
pick,
died.
then
Second overall pick.
then
Second
you
overall
remember
pick.
daylight saving.
Second overall pick.
did a little too much daylight saving and died. So October I'll go with.
All right. For my pick, that was a great pick, by the way, Chuck.
Thank you.
Enough of the politics. Just make your pick and move on.
October was on my list too. Like weather, I
You
agree.
mean your like
But-
calendar app that because you can't even think of all the months.
I have months written down. That's why you. Anyways, I'm gonna go with September
You guys know
for.
the knuckle trick to count the days of the month.
All right, it's not all about you. Let me go, please. Thank you.
You interrupted me during my set, so I'll interrupt you.
You interrupted me right there. I don't interrupt you.
No, we're
Anyways,
even.
All right, we're even. So in September, the reason why I picked it is because first off, that is the time when Jersey beaches, the what's it called? The water is the warmest. Like in the beginning of September, water is the complete warmest going through the entire season of summer. The weather is still warm in September, all right,
Okay.
but it's not as hot as like mid-July to beginning of August, all right.
Okay.
And also too, just like it's just casual weather, and also it's a good feeling. September, it's start of the
You have
year.
a song written about
Facts. I like that.
You know what I mean? Like it's
it. Do you remember?
Yeah. The 21st
night.
night.
The
of
September.
Exactly. Yeah, you got. I like that.
I don't know the rest of it.
We should see if Earth, Wind, and Fire would
Wake
come on the
me
show.
up when September.
Oh, that one too?
ends.
Ooh, that one's a
Valentine's
sad
Day.
one.
That is a sad one.
Wait, so they want your month to end, so that means my month's better because
Ooh,
they don't
actually,
like your
no,
month.
If they want that month to end, that means October's value.
Yeah, they want October to start.
October's value is up.
October. So
all-time
you're
high.
down. October's up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I'm still over here with losing an hour of sleep.
Wait, how many months are we picking? 2?
You guys just want to do 2?
Yeah,
since
let's do
Like,
2.
I don't feel like picking a stupid month.
Now you got to be strategic with your
Now,
picks.
yeah, so you can go again.
All right.
Let's go. Wait, what?
I'm gonna
what,
go
what
Feb-
we even picked?
December,
March, October,
October,
September.
September.
All right. Mental notes.
All right.
So if you're talking to old Zaka like a couple years ago,
All right.
before he developed allergies, I'd pick May. But I'm gonna pick February because you gain and lose a day every 4 years. And I think that's freaking
That's
sick.
kind of sick,
That's
actually. I like
sick.
that pick. I really like that.
That is awesome. That's a sick month.
That's
You
a sick
lose
month.
and gain a day.
That's pretty sick, actually. No other
Chalk it
month,
up for science, baby.
Let's go.
no other month can say that.
Nope.
That's true.
All right,
It's
see
unique.
science.
It's got a different attribute from every other month.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh God, what does March have?
No. I know
What
why
does
he
March
picked-
have that we all care about?
I know
Oh, my
why.
God.
I know why he picked the shortest month of the year because he's the shortest one in the studio at 5'7".
Ooh.
You know what?
Even with your extra day, you're still the shortest,
It's
just
not-
like in the studio.
Oh my goodness! I'm sitting down. You can't even tell. I could be the tallest one right here above Chuck.
Yeah,
this.
we're all the same height.
We're
sitting
all
on
the same
couch.
height in the studio.
That's
No,
true.
we're not. You're
All
still
right.
5'7".
Okay, Chuck, your pick.
All right, I'm going
It's
to
not all
go
about
with.
me.
I'm going to go with August, and it's because I'm a football guy, and that's when training camp starts.
Okay.
And the first week of college football season, where Alabama plays like a top 25 team that turns out to be really terrible by the end of the season. They have like 4 or 5 losses, but Alabama kicks the crap out of like TCU. And everyone's like, "Oh, Bama's back." So August, I have
Thanks.
August and October.
All right. July.
March.
Can I get March again? Can I repick my first one to March?
July, what?
July. 4th of July.
Because you love America.
Dog Days of Summer. I love America. And
That's a good reason.
yeah,
The trade deadline,
sure.
the start of NBA free agency.
Sure, that's not what I was going with, but Yeah, okay. Just make me look better.
Ryan, last pick of the draft.
He's picking March.
He's good.
I am looking at the calendar. Phew.
Dude, pick March. Pick
Jeez,
March.
I'm not picking March. It's a bad month.
Pick March.
I'm about to stock split October if you want to buy in.
No. Never.
Well, that's your loss.
At what price?
Well,
2 Februarys. 2 Februarys for 1 October.
yes.
You got to give up 2 Februarys for 3 Octobers.
Yeah. But I want the 29th of February. I don't want like silly 28th. Like I need it the month.
So you need
when
the the longest month February possible.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I got March, so I can't even make that.
Can I pick?
Got it.
All right. I'm a fan of May.
Why?
School's out.
Wait.
School's out.
You love
Allergy season.
you love
pick-
Mex-
you picked
you love
May.
Hey,
Mexican
not for the
food?
strong, Zach. All right.
Do you love Mexican food and you love Cinco de Mayo?
Maybe there are allergies down there, not up here.
Wow. I'm the only one who got that because I'm the only one that's 5'7" and short here. Gosh, it's a mean thing, Ryan. Take it back.
It's discrimination.
Stop being selfish.
We are an anti-discrimination podcast unless it comes to height. Then we care. That's when our discrimination starts and ends at height.
Specifically for people with the nickname
All right,
Pony.
all right. Please stop. Just,
What are you gonna what do you gotta say? Huh?
gosh, I got nothing to say.
All right, so
I have allergies.
We're
And you're
gonna,
5'7".
we're gonna go to break. When we come back, we'll do predictions, Chuck's locks, and then anything else that kind of comes up. There's
You
not,
know it.
There's not really a lot happening in the world currently. So yeah, we will be back after this commercial break.
This is Radio 1851. What you want to hear all day long.
Yeah, Radio 1851. So we have. We're kind of just going to do predictions, see what comes to our head, as well as locks. Of course, we'll save that for the end. Zako, I would like to hear who you think will be playing in the Elite Eight tomorrow, and also who you think are going to win the like tomorrow's games that are already set.
Okay, so obviously we talked about Duke. I think Duke's gonna blow Virginia Tech out. I do think Michigan State's going to beat LSU, even though LSU was the best team in, I guess, conference regular season. I do think Michigan State's going to beat LSU. To continue that, I think the UNC game in Auburn is going to be really interesting. But I'm going to just play the safe bet because I still have North Carolina in my finals. Because everything's just terrible. And then Houston, Kentucky, I think it's going to be a toss-up. So I think, honestly, I can't really – I don't know. I think just going off experience, Kentucky. I'm just going to say it like that.
Would your opinion change, like, depending on – because P.J. Washington is still – I don't know if you guys – I'm not on Twitter anymore. Do you guys know if P.J. Washington's playing?
No clue.
No clue. Ryan?
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, I don't know who that is.
Okay. So he's the best player on Kentucky.
Really? I thought
Still gonna go-
Hero was.
Still going to go with
I love
Kentucky.
Tyler Hero, but you're playing to my interest.
I'm playing
I do
your
love-
interest. I thought
I did have Seton Hall in this position at the moment, but
Oof.
3 out of my 4 brackets had Seton Hall in this position, and they are all in dead last. So,
Sheesh.
yeah.
I had Seton Hall losing to Wofford, but it's
what about you, Jeff?
A lot of the smart,
I think we
a lot of
probably-
the smart people had that.
Do you have anything different from my prediction or no?
Well, you didn't. Well, the elephant in the room, Texas Tech is gonna upset Gonzaga.
I hate Texas Tech so much.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I hate Gonzaga. So now, where does that leave us?
I'm-
All right, let's move on. The knowledge difference. Move on.
yeah. So
I didn't have any opinion about the Elite Eight games yet, but
Okay.
we'll get there yet.
yeah. I'm liking tonight. I think Michigan State. I like them tonight. I'm not betting against Izzo. I'm not silly. I'm not a silly man. I think North Carolina blows the doors off Auburn, if I'm being honest. I
Really?
think they kill them, yeah. I don't think Auburn's faced in North Carolina, and I also think North Carolina is the best team in the country.
Think they're gonna win it all?
Yeah. I
You have it?
I do have them winning it all. I think that they, top to bottom, are a better all-around team than Duke is. Duke has the star power, but North Carolina has the depth, and Duke's fatal flaw will get them. There's no way a team who shoots this pitiful from 3 wins the tournament. It has to stop somewhere. Like, it has to. Like, I feel like it just
Might
has
stop-
to
might stop tonight.
Might stop tonight. No, I think Duke blows them out, too. I think those 2 games won't be entertaining. I think they'll just blow them out. And then, which sucks because then Hank on Pardon My Take won't have to get a cat for a year. Ryan's probably the only one who would know that reference.
I thought that was Sweet 16.
Elite Eight. So tonight's the last night of. So since you guys don't listen, so the producer of Pardon My Take, he made a bet with Big Cat and PFT that if Duke doesn't make the Elite Eight, he has to get a cat for a year. And his name would be LeBron Lockwood. So it was trending on Twitter like during the UCF game. It was like the third highest trending thing in the world. But yeah, so Duke,
besides the game itself,
Yeah.
it's about the cat.
yeah, it's about
Jeez.
So yeah, I think they smoke Virginia Tech tonight, and then Michigan State will be close. Then I kind of like Houston tonight. I think Houston's gonna. If PJ Washington doesn't play, then Houston's winning. It's an interesting matchup because this is like the biggest game Houston's had since Hakeem Olajuwon.
The Wofford would have won if that kid who
He went 0 for 12.
Yeah, if he would have made
just-
something.
If you played just a below average game for him, they would have won by like 9.
that was like the
He went
worst.
0 for 12 from 3, which is like the first time in his entire career that he didn't make like 4 threes in a game. Like he's just unbelievable.
That game was nuts. That entire game was actually a thoroughly enjoyable game.
Let me see rosters. I want to try to preview and see if PJ Washington's playing.
Yeah, look that up.
I'll get back to you.
And tomorrow I love Gonzaga.
Of course you do.
I love Gonzaga winning. They're gonna win by 15.
You have them in the
Texas
finals.
Tech can't score.
You have them-
No, I have them losing to Duke.
Gotcha.
It's hard to beat Duke twice.
What's his? Washington is
A full
still
strength. questionable.
Still questionable, and Calipari said he would be, quote, stunned if it would be for more than about 15 to 18 minutes if he was able to play. So,
Houston, go Cougars.
Houston, we have a problem.
go
Tyler
Cougars.
Hero's going to run you out of the gym.
Yeah, yeah. So, definitely I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, Gonzaga. Love
Duke.
the Zags, and then who else?
I'm
plays
picking.
tomorrow?
I'm picking Duke,
Oh,
UNC, Kentucky.
tonight,
Yeah,
and then Michigan State, LSU. You have an opinion?
I mean, I don't. My gut tells me Michigan State, but at the same time, I feel like there's a disparity in like the rankings. Like I think LSU could have easily been a 2 seed as well in the tournament. I think Michigan. I think that's going to be the best game out of all of them, in my humble opinion. That's going to be the best game that we're going to see. Hopefully, I think it's going to be Michigan State. I think Izzo's just going to pull it out because he's got more experience as a coach, getting this far in the tournament.
And the LSU guy literally isn't the coach.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Will Wade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he coach at
Or no, Will Wade is, but he's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
now.
because of the
So
whole
I forget what.
because
Yeah.
of the whole scandal, right?
Yeah.
Where did he coach at
Oh,
before?
Chuck,
wasn't
go back
wasn't
and
he at
com-
VCU?
He might have
At one point, he was like he was the VCU head coach after Shaka Smart left, and then he left in
he took
2017.
over. Chuck, to go on what you said earlier, I couldn't agree more that UNC I think is the best team in the tournament, but Duke just has the best players in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duke has the best. Duke's got the like cherry red Ferrari,
Yeah.
but who's got like the 10-year-old Subaru that'll never die on you?
All reliable.
All reliable UNC.
Still take the Ferrari.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't?
And both coaches have now like collapsed on the floor before. That's
At least
interesting.
they didn't. None of them pissed themselves like Jim Boeheim,
No,
so that's fine.
true. The ACC is a collection of coaches that do the weirdest things. Now that
Yeah,
like one pissed themselves.
and then killed a
then-
guy like 3 days later.
Yeah. Like. And then and just run a guy over accidentally. Who would have ever thought the picture of Jim Boeheim and Tony Stewart would ever mean anything until like it resurfaced on Twitter a couple weeks ago?
Jeez.
You know what happened with Tony Stewart, right?
Yeah,
racing
You're
guy.
related, right? Because you guys got the same name, like Tony.
Yeah, we're related. No, I
you
remember.
related to the
no,
Tiger,
he hit.
too?
He hit someone, right?
Tony the Tiger. Oh, the Tiger.
Yeah.
He hit, I don't know. Was it mid race or was it like just?
Yeah.
It was mid.
it was in a trial, like the pre thing, I think.
What? How?
Like a
This was
time
like
trial.
what? Like a couple years ago, right? It wasn't. I don't think it was. It wasn't,
fairly recently. I'd say
wasn't recent. Like it wasn't too recent. Like 2 years ago. No.
I'd say it's like 5 years
Around there, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't follow NASCAR.
So
or
I was
people
watching
murdering
the
innocent people.
I was watching the F1 the Netflix series and he made an appearance, Tony Stewart, because long story short
Behind bars or not?
no it was an accident.
Yeah, just making sure.
Okay. And like I didn't realize how old. I thought he was like now I thought he was like in his 30s. No, he's almost reaching 50.
I mean, you could drive a car till I know some people down in Florida. They're driving cars that numbers you didn't even. I didn't even know could count.
There's no
to.
regulation.
Yeah, I didn't know I
But
could
the
even
thing
count
is-
to the
the thing
numbers
is,
that some of these
it
people are
does take a
driving at.
toll like on your body. Like, I don't know how much.
How would you
NASCAR
know that?
The F1 series, like literally, like F1 drivers have to they have to be athletic in some way. It takes a toll on their body. The force, dude, on you is crazy. Yeah. 2 hours, you're like fatigued, like crazy.
Oh yeah, I can see that. You have to have like incredible precision to like.
And your neck too. You have to you got to train everything, like upper body, like your lower body. You're sitting down for 2 hours straight like this, going 200 miles an hour.
What, Mike?
Just,
I can't.
Just like
the
this.
listeners can't see.
Just like this. That's all you need to know.
Okay. When I'm sitting right now, I can sit like this for 2 hours. You know what I mean? I could be an F1 driver.
Oh my gosh.
This show, I do sweat a lot doing this show.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
sweating
Like-
a little bit too.
Yeah.
Oh
And,
wait,
you know, it's
let's
hot in the
discuss. Wait,
studio.
can we discuss the combine?
Oh yes.
What about the?
Would you like to discuss it?
Can we just reveal it to the
Yeah,
audience?
so it's a huge week for Chuck's Track coming up, actually. So on Sunday, Sunday we're doing the Chuck's Track Combine. See who's the most in shape of us.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
How
And
you
then-
doing?
How you doing?
And then plus Teddy, which is dumb because he's just gonna.
We're gonna put him in a different. He's gonna be not gonna be incorporated.
I think
in,
we
the
could take him.
final
I think if
scores.
we all team up to put our powers together, we could take him down.
We add up all of our scores.
We
That
add up
makes
all of
sense.
our scores. We could blow him out of the water.
It's like who's the tallest midget. That's what our competition is on Sunday. Like, it
Wait,
doesn't
what time?
really
What
mean
time are we doing it?
Up to you guys.
We do it before the
noon.
Formula One. Let's do it we do it like
In the morning?
we do it like at 10. No.
Champions
like
wake up before
9:30.
9 a.m.
9. Actually, no. 9:30. Let's just not bench press because that was one of the things. I don't want to go to opaque, to be honest.
Ryan's like, what?
It's a combine.
All right, we're going to opaque.
We're gonna have to.
We have to have a Dunkin' run right after to watch F1.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have the time. We're gonna need like 4 days to do this.
Then I think we should wake up. Then we should get there by 9:30. Then
That's early,
That's early.
but sure.
Oh, what time does Opaque open?
Ooh,
12. I can't
So we can't do
it.
9:30.
All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll do
do the bench.
everything except the bench.
Yeah. Well, no, but
And
no,
then
we'll do the bench.
later in the week.
And then we're gonna record it. Check out our content on YouTube. That's where everything's gonna be now. SoundCloud we have to pay for. We don't have the funds yet until we go global.
If you look up Jill Bodensteiner on YouTube, we are the third video that pops up or the fourth video that pops up, and we have more views than the first 3 videos combined.
Or look at Chuck's chat. It's the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, or you can just look at So Chuck's Track Combine. Then next Friday, tentatively, Joe Lenardi will be on the program.
This is something you're gonna want to hear.
It's something you're
Do I have to
gonna
wash
wanna
my hands before we have that show?
Yeah, I will. I'm just gonna bring in a bunch of brackets. I think it would be funny if we had
I'm
had
dressing
him-
up.
We should have him make a bracket. There'll be something where we'll make him have
Fill out a bracket of
something
ridiculous thing, like children's movies or something, and just see what he says.
stupid. Yeah, if there was
Or like fast food restaurants, just see
he
just make him fill out that bracket.
He just goes, "This is a waste of time."
He just walks out.
Yeah, he'll. I feel like he'll.
No, I'll have fun
gonna
with it.
kick out of it.
He knows what it is.
That's crazy. In 2008, he guessed all 60 something teams in the tournament.
2008.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was 64. I think.
64 teams. Yeah, he guessed all of
That's
them
wild.
to be in. The ones he didn't pick,
Crazy.
not a perfect bracket, but I think that's how it kicked off.
He has Gonzaga winning it all.
Yeah,
No, we are gonna butt heads. I will go toe to toe with Joey brackets.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it'll be good to have him
Oh,
on.
here comes a friend of the program. It'll
Yep.
be big.
Once you're indoctrinated into friend of the program territory, you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Just know that. All of you out there listening that want to be a friend of the program.
All 7 of you guys listening out there.
We've said this so many times before, but I wish we did this sophomore year, or
Oh,
even
yeah.
you know what I
That's
mean.
my only regret with the show. We didn't start it early.
All right, guys, this isn't our last show over. No victory lap yet. Oh, I wish we did
Getting
this sooner.
emotional.
No, that's
Let
save
me
that.
be-
Save
let me
that
be
for the
emotional.
victory.
Let me be emotional.
All right, so we're gonna do
My
locks
white
now.
socks on.
Yeah, we're gonna try to start getting out of here. I'm just informing the listeners of what you said to me earlier
Yeah.
because we kind of cut the guys off who come in next, and
Yeah.
even though they're always gracious and tell us good shit but never listen, whatever. Not, but they're gonna be listening right now. Be like, what the hell? Yeah, so we'll do some locks. I will go for it. What if they actually did?
But if they that was a funny comment.
What if they did actually listen to every show and
That'd be. We
That
don't
was-
we didn't listen. We should listen. Respectful listen. Anyways, let's go to locks.
yeah. So I'll start first. So my first one, Carolina -5.5 tonight. Hammer it. They're covering. They're winning by 15. Bruce Pearl is going to be
You sure about that?
Bruce Pearl is going to be wilding on the sideline.
All right, to continue with that topic, I'm going to go Duke -7 against Virginia Tech.
I like it.
So minus 105. Make some money.
Make some dough.
I'll bet.
Make some
Make some
dough.
dough.
It's a little bet.
We have so many games to choose from. They're out of 16, man. What, you picked Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I got the heels.
You got the of course, yeah. Give me the scraps. It's fine. Give me the scraps.
Take a future.
I'm gonna
I did do Phillies.
I'm gonna take one out of Tony's playbook.
Oh, God.
Just kidding. This one's running like his height. I'm giving the smallest line of the night, minus 2.5 Kentucky.
You like
The
Kentucky?
shortest line of the night.
No.
I'd like Kentucky minus
I see what
2.5.
you did. Okay.
I got another pick. I'm gonna go pro football. Head over to the AAF. My Salt Lake City Stallions
Never lose at home.
never lose at home. They're playing at home tomorrow at 8 p.m. Minus 3
Prime time.
against the San Diego Fleet. Minus 3 pound that line. Make some money. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's what we're talking about. Johnny Manziel debuted the other day.
Ryan, you got any locks?
Memphis Express.
I'll lock it in. The AAF won't be a league in 1 year.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, lock that in.
Oh, yeah. That's odds are that's a Tony lock. That's like minus 15,000 odds.
17 million.
So my next one, I parlay these two going off what we had already said. North Carolina first half -3 and Duke first half -3.5.
Ooh,
Okay.
parlay.
Thread the needle, as I would say.
For,
Got to thread the needle a little bit.
for me right here, I'm doing a little parlay action, all right? So we're going to Formula 1.
Oh, you
We're doing a Formula 1.
did the same thing. I had the same thing.
We're going to Formula 1 right now.
My fingers crossed. Please don't pick my guy.
So it's a 3-pick parlay. We're gonna start off with just the usual. It's in for the listeners, it's in Bahrain.
Where is that?
It's like in the Gulf around.
I honestly have no clue where it is.
So it's a small. I think it's a small country, or I don't know if it's I don't honestly. I think it's either a small country or it's a city. So we're gonna pick.
It's a country.
like the Vatican.
It's a country very close to Qatar. Like
Okay.
in the
Oh.
yeah.
Embiid used to go there for his foot doctor.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Fun
just
fact.
it is. It looks like it is literally connected via bridge to Saudi Arabia.
So we're gonna go based off. So today was practice rounds, and the 2 Ferrari cars, Vettel and Leclerc, had the fastest times. But I think the winner's gonna be probably Lewis Hamilton, played safe, plus 240, and then I'm gonna parlay that with the qualifying winning car, which is tomorrow. I'm gonna go with Ferrari minus 165, and then on top of that, safety car in the race, yes, minus 140.
Safety car. So
It's
that's
bound
like
to
after
happen.
an accident.
Yeah, after like a big accident, there's a safety car and they reset. So like even if it's a little accident, they don't have a safety.
In and out thing.
Yeah. So like even if it's like a small accident, they won't have to throw a safety car on there. But if it's a big accident, they need to clean up a little bit. Then yeah, it's a little negative because sometimes that they won't have the same distance that they will before. So the safety car kind of brings everyone together, and then you go.
Gotcha.
Interesting. What a concept.
Jeff
All right. Well, you took my.
took the Padavano parlay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't exact. I was gonna throw. This one's a long shot here, guys. So first leg has got to be putting Antonio Giovinazzi. I don't even know how to pronounce that last name.
Are you serious?
Plus 20,000 to win it all, combined with the New York Islanders over the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow night.
What an
All right,
interesting.
so background: he races for McLaren.
That's fine.
This is his rookie
Come
season,
on, Antonio.
and he came in, I believe, below 15th place last time. And there was 3 cars that didn't finish, so I think he was down there. Let me see.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Standings.
he's a long shot. It's a future. This is a value pick. This is a value
Yeah,
pick.
he was 15th.
value based.
He was 15th behind the 2 last place teams, and then 3 cars didn't place because they got into accidents. So.
I'm putting $10 down to win $2,000 if it hits. I don't need to watch a single race. I don't need to worry about it. But once I just see the little notification on my phone, hey, you won $2,000, then we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Leclerc race.
The Ferry he did a future to win the tournament with Kentucky, Duke, and North Carolina. What if they all lose tonight? How funny
cry.
would that be?
That's the only reason why. Wait, he needs. Oh, you said Kentucky, Duke, UNC.
Yeah,
that is the only reason why I would root for Gonzaga in a final game.
to
See Ferry lose.
That'd be
That's the only time I would root for them.
It would be wild. Because odds are, like, this is purely like speculative, they'd be beating Duke, then either North Carolina or Kentucky, or like Virginia, or if someone wins that one. But like, there's a good chance that Gonzaga could roll through Duke and both of his teams, and then he's done. Because Carolina would have to play Kentucky, and so like one of them's gonna lose, unless Kentucky loses tonight, of course.
You gamblers, man.
Did you see Ed Oliver? This is like related to Houston, so. He's a defensive tackle for Houston.
The picture of him standing on the horse?
No.
That picture was so cool.
He had a faster short shuttle than Saquon Barkley. If you know what a short shuttle
Draft him
is.
and put him at running back. I don't know what to tell you.
So he's going to be next dude on the Rams.
And Ndamukong Suh?
No. Sam
Darnold.
Sam
Darnold.
Donald.
Sam Darnold, yeah, that's the guy.
Wait, what's Aaron Donald?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. He's going to be the next Sam Darnold, except playing defense tackle. He's going to be the next Aaron Donald. So my last pick tomorrow, Gonzaga -4. They're going to win by 20. Gonzaga's so good at basketball.
Oh my gosh.
Hachimura or whatever. Beast.
Hey, be careful.
Yeah,
What?
I said last night that Michigan would kill Texas Tech. Scored 16 points in the first half. Dreadful.
Jeez.
Any other picks?
I go Tony Pick with a boxing pick -4,000. Paul Butler over some guy's name who I can't even begin to pronounce.
-4,000.
-4,000.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So that's
It's like you were preparing for
It's
the
like-
show with
yeah.
that, and you're like, you know what? I'm not using that.
I'm not.
yeah, no.
That's too much. I'd be revealing too much in my
He
inside.
left his laptop open, and I saw that he had it in his bet slip, so I just had to take it.
Classic. All right, so
$10 to win a quarter.
any parting words?
SYT.
No, I just say
That's what I see, obviously.
follow the YouTube channel. All of our content will be on there. Because SoundCloud, we can't upload anymore unless we have to pay for the subscription. So we're going to do that. And all of our content will be there. And then follow us on Instagram. Instagram will give you every update for more Chuck Chat content.
Yeah. All that. The interview's been up. Go check that out, Ryan.
My dad texted me that he wants to be a friend of the program. Just letting you know, Steve, you are a friend of the program.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yes.
Don't worry,
Yes.
Pop.
It's a rigorous application process, but if you get through, then it's good. I think we got.
He listens
I think
to
he's in.
every show.
I think he's in.
I think that counts.
Yeah, he's a
friend
friend.
of the program. We now have a Mount Rushmore friends of the program between him, my dad, Jill, and then soon to be Joel Lenard.
That'd be awesome.
That's an elite group.
That's a sick group.
That's
an
a
awesome
star-studded group of friends of the
Wait,
program.
when Billy Lang gets to campus, can we pretend we're like big shots? And,
Yes. Yes.
like
that
we're
was the
really
plan.
important.
That was
that'd
the
be hilarious.
plan.
We show up in like a full
Yeah.
suit to
Yes.
the press conference.
Yeah.
That'd
Why-
be hilarious.
Wait, no, but even if we could get these, what's it called? If we get credentials, like I still plan on like dressing up like business cash.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
Like, I wouldn't,
I
like,
think it'd be funnier now if we all show up in suits to do it.
And just
Alright.
like tell him that Phil used to come on our show every week.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, man,
Now I have
I gotta
to.
fill in his shoes. Like, I gotta come on the
We
show.
got
Is
to
that
try to
a
get
pun
him on the show.
intended? Fill his shoes. Is that pun
Oh my
intended?
God.
And because
No.
he'll get it, he'll have.
Jeez.
Hopefully, once he gets his SJU email, like we could reach out to him.
Right. I'll
Yeah,
probably
just
go through
Billy.Lang at
Jill.
SG.
That's probably exactly what it would be. What was it? New coach. Phil's replacement at SJU.edu.
Phil 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah, so that has been Chuck's chat. Billy Lang, we're behind you. Jill,
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Phil Martelli, not our friend.
So yeah, it's gonna go Lenardi next week as it looks, and then we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to get Billy Lang on. We'll see how.
Hopefully, maybe if we could make it to the press conference, we can maybe ask him a couple questions, and then we could record some content for it. That'd be awesome.
Yep, I agree. All right, so thank you guys for listening. It's been Chuck's chat. We'll see you next week, hopefully with Mr. Joseph Brackets in the studio.
Joey B.